Welcome to The Wall. Today, we'll see how several women decide to end their marriages, only to cry when things don't go as they expected. Don't forget to subscribe. We want to reach 150,000 subscribers, and with your help, we can make it happen. Share your experience in the comments. Let's get started.
I feel like I've done a really good job of posting content like normal. I'm really struggling this morning. It's just important for me to post these updates for myself just so I don't slip into bad patterns and I remember how I was feeling. Posting online and pretending like I can keep going and I can make jokes and be funny stuff, like it's been so fucking hard. Especially because I haven't posted details online, so I'm getting so many like assholes in my comments. I'm just like, if you fucking knew the truth, like it'd be so much easier just to post that. Post like my really cute aesthetic videos, building my life, finishing my studio, but like I just don't have the energy to do anything. Like I don't have the energy to leave my house. Like I've done a really good job of like exercising every day, having a routine, doing all that stuff. But, like it's just sad. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm the type of person, like, I always need something to look forward to, and I just feel like I have nothing to look forward to. Like, the dating world looks so scary to me. Like, it's just so much easier to stay unhappy than to choose myself. Like, I just, like, need to start getting my life together this week now that I have answers, now that I know what's happening. But, like, I don't want to. Like, it's so fucking hard. But all of you that have gotten a divorce and kept going, like, I'm proud of you. Because I feel like I can't right now. It's so hard.
Stop it. Get some help.
Here we have a woman suffering because of the very decision she made. Many women get divorced believing everything will be wonderful, without considering that once the husband is gone, everything changes: lifestyle, habits, and even friendships. Now we see her crying, with no energy to leave the house, saying that the dating world seems terrifying to her. Of course, because while she was married, she saw other women claiming their life after divorce was amazing. But now that she's gotten her dose of reality, she realizes that making decisions based on emotions comes with consequences.
I had a crappy husband once and then I got a divorce, and now I'm just way too pro-divorce. When women like try to talk to me about their crappy husbands and they're like, "Oh, he hasn't given me a hug in 2 years and he never helps with the dishes and sometimes I cry alone at night because he won't help me with my children." I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Get a divorce. It's great. You don't have to deal with this crap. You can get a new man. A man that's normal and helps you and doesn't just watch you suffer and crumble. Like, what do you mean?
Misery loves company. It's no surprise when a woman says, "I had a terrible husband," because that's how they justify their failures. According to psychology, you are 50% of the people you surround yourself with. And in a relationship, that number rises to 60%. So if your husband was so bad, that means you were a terrible wife too. What she's really saying here is that he'll have better luck finding another woman who will treat him the way he deserves. That's why she's pro-divorce, because she's hit the wall, and the wall doesn't forgive.
When my girls were young, I got a divorce, and I was actually chatting with a girlfriend about the experience last night and my regrets of not being able to give my girls that stable, perfect family life that everybody dreams about. And there were a lot of things I did wrong. But one of the things I did right was I manned up and I got my shit together and I worked my tail off and I dedicated my life to those girls and moved them from country to country until we found our stability. We spent a lot of time with my friends, both male and female, people that I trusted, people that I wanted them to look up to. And most of them are still in their lives today. While I know they probably felt pain and maybe still do feel pain over their parents no longer being together, I hope that those dance parties in the living room, the walks to school, the solo trips together, the opening gifts on their birthday, specially picked out for them by mom, them watching me work and be independent and struggle and do all the things that moms need to do in order to survive. I hope all of those experiences far outweigh any pain that they may have felt. So to all those single moms out there, remember that your strength and your tenacity will far outweigh any pain that may linger in regards to your failed relationship. You've totally got this.
Here we have another divorced single mother selling the idea that her happiness and selfish decisions are somehow tied to her daughter's happiness. She says she stepped up and worked hard, but the reality is she was bouncing from one friend's house to another instead of providing stability. Meanwhile, the child grew up in an unstable life when she could have been with her father. But of course, in her world, marriage and family only exist for the woman's happiness. If she's not happy, then for some magical reason, everyone else has to suffer.
Things I wish people would have told me after I got divorced. That being single is a choice. It's very easy to distract yourself with dating apps and swipe and just go on random dates. I'm speaking from experience, I did this. But then you're left empty and wondering, why am I doing this? Because you're numbing the pain. You're distracting yourself so you don't have to sit in it. And that can only last so long before it just starts catching up with you and biting you in the ass. So then you have to sit in the pain. Then you choose to sit in the pain and be alone. You have to get quiet with yourself. You have to sit and do the hard work within yourself. Yes, this includes journaling. Yes, this includes reading all of the self-help books. This means you have to be vulnerable with yourself. You have to be so raw and honest with who you are and why you're doing the things that you're doing and question everything. Also owning up to your mistakes that you made in your past relationship. Because the marriage ended, but it wasn't just one person's fault. And we can all sit in blaming the other person for a little while, I know. But the real healing and growth happens when you look in the mirror and start taking ownership for your part in the failure of that marriage. The more work we do, the quieter our ego gets. This was a beautiful part of my process that I am so grateful for. I never realized how much my ego was leading my life. Yes, I'm still healing. Yes, I'm still single, but I'm really happy. And if you're on this journey, you will get to this place too. You are not alone. I love you, and I'm so incredibly proud of you for doing all of the hard work it takes inside.
I am literally still in shock that my husband just came home from work one day and decided that he's going to up and leave the family and has left me in a position where I have to find a way to save my house. But here we are. I'm going to tell you the story. But here's the deal. I am in the creator fund. And if 35 million people watch this, TikTok will pay to save my house. I know that's ambitious. You've already watched long enough. But if we can get a large amount of views, I can figure something out. Okay? Here's the deal. My husband comes home from work one day and says, I don't really like you anymore. I'm not happy here. I need to leave. And we have our conversation, and it basically ends with, don't stay if you don't like me. That's not something that's going to change because I'm not changing, right? But if this is something that can be figured out, if it's because of other things that are happening that could maybe be shifted, then let's talk about it. Let's try and work it out. He says, okay, we'll try and work it out, but he's going to Nashville on a work trip the next day. So that really gives it a couple of days to simmer, right? Well, wild twist of fate. His dad also ends up being on a work trip in Nashville, something that he didn't even know about until he was already there. They don't work for the same company. It was just this wild twist of fate. After he talks to his dad, I don't hear from him at all the rest of that trip. We had been talking before that. He had called me a couple of times and then radio silence, not even a text. Comes home and basically just says, okay, well, I'm leaving. I can't stay here. I don't want to be here. So not much I can do about that, right? It has been less than 2 weeks. He has already rented an apartment and he is moving out tomorrow. Like, I am looking at his boxes over there that are waiting for him to grab tomorrow. So I would love to keep my house. I have 200-pound dogs that were really his, but I'm keeping them because he works 12-hour days. And at this point, yes, I'm desperate. If you want to hear more, I did block his ass, so I will talk more about it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Brothers, responsibility is kryptonite for women. Now she blames her husband for leaving when she was the one who told him she would never change. If she can say, I'm not going to change, then he has every right to walk away. As she likes to say, he deserves to be happy. But of course, now that it's happening to her, it's a total shock. She sees it as something huge. Imagine how men feel when they receive 80% of divorce filings. Instead of blaming him, she should be asking herself why a man who worked 12-hour days to support her one day just got tired of her. But of course, she'll never admit that. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, Here are some questions for you. Why do you think this man got tired of her? Do you know any divorced women? How are they doing after the divorce? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video.